all of our lives, ever since we were wee children, as demonstrated by this year's swing.
They bend, they fold, and so do I to a new love. You think that
While I'm swinging, there are many forces acting on me, such as gravity, tension, and normal force. In circles, your reference frame always points towards the center, and in this scenario, tension and normal force are positive, and mg is negative. Since there is motion on both the x and y axis, mg can be broken up into mg cos theta and mg sine theta.
Minimum and maximum speeds!
When dealing with centripetal forces, in which normal force is the main asset, one must stay below a certain speed, at which normal force will equal 0. This roller coaster, for example, is at maximum speed. When it goes over max speed, there is not enough normal force for it to stay on the tracks. However, when you're doing a problem with tension, there is a minimum speed you must maintain at the top of a circle, otherwise tension is lost and slack is created. While I'm content at the top of the swing, at minimum speed, another go-around at a lower speed proves unsuccessful.
Wah, wah, wah.
Although my jump was nothing short of perfection, we're going to use Rachel's slightly more impressive jump for this scenario. So after she jumps off the swing, she momentarily follows through with her motion tangential to the circle before arcing downward with the assistance of gravity. Her movement outside the path of the circle can be calculated and understood through projectile motion.
in a field outside of town, we could always be alone. Carry a blanket, maybe a basket.
To understand projectile motion, it is necessary to be aware of both axes, as the properties of movement are different along both. The velocity on the x-axis is always constant, and therefore the acceleration is 0. The velocity on the y-axis begins at 0, as it is not moving up or down at the start, and is then affected by gravity, which is an acceleration of 10 meters per second squared.
In addition to this, v changes to v bar on the x-axis. When trying to figure out time, one must realize that the x-axis and the y-axis will have the same time and be equal to one another.
When dealing with a problem where an object goes up and then down, such as when Rachel jumps off of the swing, we need to separate the instances before and after it reaches the top. The velocity at the pinnacle is 0 meters per second, so the ending speed of the y up chart and the starting speed of the y down chart is 0. If the distance is the same on both y's, the time should be as well, and the time on the x should be the two combined. Forces.
You might notice that while Amy moves down the slide, she has movement on the x and y axis. This is due to the fact that, despite the angle of the subject, mg will always point downwards and normal force is always perpendicular to the surface. Once again, the forces are split into mg sine theta and mg cos theta. mg cos theta will be equal to normal force in this situation, and mg sine theta is the forward motion on the x-axis. To solve for friction in this problem, you would have to use the formula F equals mu times Fn. In this case, however, Fn would equal to mg cos theta rather than simply mg. If your reference frame depicts right as being positive, friction would be negative.
Although physics to you may just have been what you dreaded in reaching 11th grade, really it's been relevant ever since we were wee children, as did the hair registration.